хмурые, лица страшные, жизнью русскою разукрашены. Размалеваны. Кто во что гораст, не уроды мы, не рабочий класс. Не уроды мы, дети Господа. Не хотим войны. Сыты досыта. Не уроды мы, дети Господа. Не хотим войны. Сыты досыта. Почему же царь так не любит нас? Нас не милует. В этот трудный час полицейская мира истина управляет бал. Независимый управляет бал. Хоровод ведет из убитых душ. Свое счастье ткет. Управляет бал. Хоровод ведет из убитых душ. Свое счастье ткет. Спиртом смочено. Жизнь заочная. Судьбы детские. Раскурочены. Почему же спит совесть млечная? Где же люди власть? Безупречная. мерседесами. Поведет в забой. Совесть млечная или мир пустой? Мерседесами поведет в забой.
The Tsar removed the Grand Duke Nikolai Nikolaevich and assumed the title of Commander-in-Chief. He arrives at the front, accompanied by the Chief of Staff Yanushkevich and the deposed Grand Duke. General Alexeyev delivers a report. The Tsar's military experience consisted of praying with the army for victory and sprinkling the soldiers with holy water to make them fight better. The soldiers did not want parades and ceremonies, but generalship, food, ammunition, clothing. At home, too, the people were starving. Old men, women, and cripples were tilling the fields. Women were standing all day in bread lines. In the empty markets, the crowd stood desperate. Workers abandoned the factories and held demonstrations in defiance of the police. They began to march in groups, singing revolutionary songs, carrying banners, peace, bread, liberty. The Tsar's answer: I forbid all meetings in the streets. I warn the people that the soldiers have been instructed to use their rifles to restore order in the capital. The crowds increased. The street meetings continued. And for the first time in history, the Tsar's soldiers failed him. Instead of using their rifles to restore order, they completed the disorder by joining the people in the streets. Revolt and the Tsar's armed forces are united. The autocracy is doomed. The Duma, or Parliament, met in the Tauride Palace. It was dissolved by order of the Tsar, but in great fright and excitement decided to remain in the capital. The people in revolution surrounded the palace. In the left wing of the palace, a group of revolutionists issued a leaflet summoning all factories and regiments to elect deputies to a council or Soviet of workers and soldiers. Within 12 hours, the Soviet was elected and assembled. The next day, 4 regiments of the garrison mutinied and marched to the Tauride Palace to defend the revolution. The welcome at the palace. Rodzianko, president of the Duma, telegraphed the Tsar. Anarchy in the capital. Someone trusted by the people must be appointed to form a new government. The Tsar, to his minister of the court, Frederick, that silly ass Rodzianko has sent me some more nonsense. which I won't even bother to answer. At the command of the Soviets, detachments of soldiers went out to arrest the Tsar's ministers. Other detachments enjoyed a glass of tea in the Tory's palace. Schlüsselburg prison, the old rotting place of the heroes of the revolution, was burnt to the ground. Millions of civil records and deeds were destroyed. Tsarist emblems were torn down everywhere, all over Russia. While the red flag was flying over the capital, the Tsar telegraphed the Tsarina, "Wonderful weather. Hope you are well and calm. Many troops sent from the front. With kind love, Nicky." The many troops obeyed their officers until they reached Petrograd, and there joined the people in the streets. Soldiers no longer, but armed peasants demanding the rights of citizens. You see here in the main thoroughfare of Petrograd the moving body of the power that overthrew the Tsarist autocracy and initiated those events which have altered the whole course of modern history. Rights of citizens is the slogan inscribed upon their banner. Two loyal members of the Duma went to the front to demand that the Tsar abdicate in favor of his feeble son. Shulgin of the old aristocracy and Guchkov, a representative of big business. The Tsar's abdication. As we do not wish to be separated from our dear son, we transmit the throne to our dear brother, the Grand Duke Michael Alexandrovich. May the Lord God help Russia. But the Grand Duke Michael had seen the streets of Petrograd. He abdicated the next morning without waiting for a stenographer. The Tsar's immediate successor was the people of Russia, who ceased all business and lived in the streets as on a perpetual holiday. There was no government. Joy was the sovereign of all Russia. They opened the jails and liberated the prisoners. Watch for the little Zulik with white side whiskers. He is coming back and he wanted you to see him. The banner reads, "No more criminals." To make it absolutely sure, the officer of the Soviet gives them a lecture on the principles of democracy. And the news of the revolution arrives among the soldiers in the trenches. The funeral of the martyrs of the February Revolution was not a funeral, but a gigantic triumphal march of the people. In this momentous upheaval which overthrew a despotism and democratized the government of an empire, only a few hundred men and women lost their lives. Over 1 million people from early morning to dark marched past the one big grave on Mars Field. The banners read, "From darkness to light, eternal memory to the heroes fallen for liberty. Long live the democratic republic. Nothing comparable to these crowds was ever before seen in Europe, said Buchanan, the British ambassador.